All right, Assalamu alaikum. We are here with Daarina of Blourish. And if you don't know her, get to know her. Okay, we have a superstar in the building. MashaAllah, I'm so
Aw.
excited to chat with you about all things business and your journey. And so, just like Muslimah Business Podcast, we're just going to get right into it. So, I am going to allow you to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about you.
Yes, assalamu alaikum, everyone. Thank
Assalam.
you so much for having me.
Of course.
So, my name is Daarina Farooq. I am the founder and CEO of Blourish. Blourish is a luxury Black owned event floral design company based here in Atlanta, Georgia. And we specialize in curating gorgeous floral experiences for corporate events, luxury weddings, and beautiful social celebrations. And, our clients really love us because we're very intentional about the flowers that we bring to the table. The
Mhm.
flowers tell a story and they just elevate the event in a really nice way. So we don't just put flowers in a vase, we curate the whole experience. We bring the bloom
Yes,
to the tables for the installations and all of that just to create just a beautiful guest experience. So
absolutely.
that's
And
what we
I
do.
feel like a lot of people say luxury, but this is really luxury. Like
Thank
I feel
you.
like they use it and it'd be like, no, for real luxury, florals and all of that, and just the brand and everything around it speaks luxury,
Thank you.
mashallah, and it's just quality. And when she says CEO, she's a for real CEO. Okay, don't mess with her. Yes. All right, so we're going to get into it. So you gave us a little bit of background, but just tell us a little bit about how did the idea for Blourish come about and what inspired you to pursue floral specifically as a business?
Okay, so I'll tell you my story. So I have always been a creative, right? I mean, me and we both
We
got
here.
my first,
We
my
got
very,
that.
my very first business was actually interior decorating because I've
Mm-hmm.
always loved decorating, curating beauty, gorgeous presentation. It's always been something that's very natural for me to do, since
Yes.
I was a little girl. And so when it came to flowers, so I had this business back in the day. I don't know if you remember Blue Jones.
Absolutely.
I
I
used to
remember
sell,
it.
yes, I used to
Accessories
sell,
and
yes. I used to
yes.
all this. I used to curate all these really nice handbags and jewelry and
Mm-hmm.
accessories and things like that. So always, whether it was decorating, fashion, I was always in the business of creativity, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I had this desire to do something with my hands to actually create something.
Okay.
And so with the fashion, I was more so buying pieces and reselling them. But I was
Mm-hmm.
like, I want to like use my hands to create something beautiful, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'd already kind of been into the just events world just as like a passion, like helping out in the community and maybe with my own experience that I would curate. And so it was like I didn't want to be a planner, but I just wanted to make the events look really pretty. And so people would just call on me for you know how we
I
do.
know
Oh,
how it is.
call
Yes.
call such
You
and
got
such
a
to help us
skill.
get this together.
Yes.
It wasn't that I was charging for it, but people
Right.
would hit you up. And so I was helping out um after Sister Taiba Taylor, founder of Aziza Magazine, when she passed away. We were having an event for her in
Okay.
honor of her. And they asked me to, see what I could do to help out.
Hmm.
And I went and bought some rose petals. We had some candles, and
Yeah.
I was just setting up the tables and stuff. And as long as I had been in business, I was like, why have I never considered like event design, right, as
Hmm.
a business?
Okay.
I've only done it just as a passion or to just help folks out, but I don't know why it didn't cross my mind. So I
Right.
kind of had like an epiphany in that moment to like, maybe you should do this. Like, maybe
Yeah.
you should try this. And so I went online and I started doing research about event design and floral design. You come across floral design. And I was like, okay, I want to look deeper into this world.
Yeah, this is something. Something is piquing your
This
interest a little more. Yes.
exactly.
Uh-huh.
And so what I did, I was attending an event where the owner and founder of Edible Arrangements, he was like the guest speaker at this event. They had a little
Okay.
social hour afterwards where we could like chat and ask questions and stuff like that. And what I learned is that he got the idea from Edible Arrangements from, flower shops, because I think
Okay.
they were in the actual floral business.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, I need to speak with him, to
Okay.
get some advice. So
Yeah.
I introduced myself. I told him that I was interested in the event floral design industry.
Okay.
Um, and, just asking him his advice on how I should get into it.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, you have to go work for somebody. He said, even if it's for 6 months,
Okay.
go work. This is Tarek Fareed talking to me, right?
Okay.
Founder of Edible Arrangements.
Yes.
Even if it's for 6 months, go work with someone, learn where they get their flowers from, how much the flowers cost, just
Yes.
learn everything you need to know, and then go start your business.
Okay.
So that's exactly what I did.
Oh, you took the advice.
I took their advice. I called up all these different event design companies in Atlanta,
Mm-hmm.
trying to see how I could get into their floral department.
Mm-hmm.
And ended up calling, actually, they're one of my suppliers now, one of our wholesale suppliers. I ended up calling
Okay.
them. And I don't know why, I was just calling folks, right? Like,
Yeah.
can I
You're
work? Can
like
I
somebody.
go work
Yes,
at your flower
somebody's gonna
shop?
say.
Can I go work at your flower shop?
Yes.
So this guy, he answered the phone. He's still there today, Mark. He's like, he said, call Bold American, Tony Brewery, and Legendary Events. These are
Okay.
all like top event
Top
design
ones.
companies in Atlanta
Yes.
now, right?
Okay.
And so I called all three of those companies, and he
Mm-hmm.
said, ask them if they have any event install positions available. And I
Okay.
called and I did just that. And Legendary was the only one that reached back out to me. I
Okay.
called, emailed, all of that, right?
Yes.
Legendary was the only one that reached back out to me. And when they reached back out to me, they was like, oh, well, you have to meet with the floral director in order to get a job in florals. And
Okay.
so I probably called and kind of stalked this floral director for like a month before she finally let me come in.
She said, "All right, enough is enough. Come on,
Right.
just come
So she
on."
finally let me come in because I knew if I came in, I could sell myself, right?
Okay. Okay.
So she let me come in. Before I came, I went and bought like these flowers and created this hideous floral arrangement, right?
But at the time, it was cute. You said at the
At the
time you was doing it
time,
though.
at
At
the
the
time
time,
it
it was
was cute. So I created this floral arrangement, and she was like, "Oh my goodness, no one has ever done this for me before. Like, bring a flower
cute.
arrangement to
Yeah,
the
to
interview."
me, right?
So she was like, "Okay, we're gonna do like a little trial, da da da." She told me she could pay me $15 an hour. I was like, bet, like this was back.
Done. Yes, this was when that was something.
This is when that was something, because this was like in 2015.
Right.
And so I was like, okay, because I was getting paid like $12.50 in my other job. So
Right. So you said this is an upgrade all around.
okay. And so I came in, they scheduled me to come in to do to freelance for flowers.
Okay.
I'm up in there pronouncing flowers all wrong and stuff. But
Hey, you were in there though. You
but I
showed
was
up.
in there.
You
I was
showed
in there,
up.
but not only was I
Yes.
in there, I was in there like I belonged in there.
Right.
I was in there like I belonged in that room with all those
Mm-hmm.
other experienced florists who are designing for this big wedding for this baseball player that's happening at the Biltmore,
Yeah.
right? And so we designed the flowers. I think we did the install the next day.
Okay.
And I was like, girl, you really this was like my first time actually having a creative job. You know
Yeah.
how it is when you like graduate from college and you got a degree and you just kind of go work somewhere.
Yep.
You know, it may
I
not even be
know.
related to your
It's
industry,
not
but
even nowhere. Yes, I
like I worked
understand.
at a bank for 5 years and then I worked at a behavioral health office doing administrative assistance. Like I never actually had a job doing something that I love, that was
Okay.
creative, that was
Yeah.
artsy, you know?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so you always would apply to that type of stuff, but you never really got those jobs, you
I
know?
understand. Yeah.
So that was my first time ever working for a company doing something creative, and it did not feel like work. Like
You loved
I
it.
enjoyed every bit of that 6 months that
Yeah.
I was there. I learned so much. I did
Okay.
exactly what Tarek Fareed said. I learned everything that I could learn about flowers.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then when I was done with that, I went and I did a 10-week Preston Bailey certified wedding and event design program that was in
Okay.
New
I feel
York.
like I remember this period. I remember you talking about this.
Yes.
Yeah.
And at the time, I had flight benefits. So I would fly to New York once a week. I would
Okay.
take the train to the Bronx and I would go to class and I
Mm-hmm.
would learn everything there is to learn about event design and creating an ambiance and pricing and all of that, right?
Yeah.
Then I got an internship with David Tutera. He had these wedding shows. And
Yep. I
so
remember
I
him.
got those internships. Yes.
Yeah.
And so I just went all in on education. And that's something that's still very true for me today. Like if there's something that I'm interested in, whether it's learning how to be a better CEO or a particular skill, I have no problem in investing in myself and
Okay.
learning how to do it the right way.
Yeah.
So that's what I did. And I worked for that company for exactly 6 months.
Yeah.
And I launched my business. It was when I first launched my business, it was called the Crafted Room because I
Okay.
said, okay, I'm gonna craft the whole room, like the whole
Okay.
experience. So actually, when I first started, I was doing like full service event design. Like I was doing the linen and the
Yep.
charger plates and the napkins and the stationery
Mm-hmm.
and the flowers. I learned really quickly all this
That
stuff
wasn't
is
it.
not for me.
You said no.
No,
Just the
and
florals. Just give me the
just the floor.
flowers. Yes. And so you weren't afraid to say, I might not get as much business
Yeah.
by saying I only do florals, but I know I don't want to do that other stuff because I feel like a lot of people feel like, well, if I limit myself, now I'm turning away so much business. So
Right.
you felt like, no, this is not what I want to do. And I'm okay with saying that.
And I'm okay with saying that. Because it's like if I'm not enjoying it, listen, I have no problem letting it go.
Okay. You're just like, look, it's not for me.
Yeah.
This is not for me. So I'm okay with doing that. Okay, so moving, so we've got a great understanding, and that's very inspiring
Yes.
actually to hear that you just kind of went for it. You got some
Yes.
advice, you went for it, you showed up, and boom, here we are, alhamdulillah. So,
Alhamdulillah.
how did you position Flourish to stand out in the competitive floral and events market? Because we are in Atlanta, this
Yes.
is a competitive market.
Right. So as I told you, when I started, I was under a completely different brand and I shifted so many different times before we got to
Mhm.
Flourish, right?
Okay.
Like I started doing I had my first child and
Mm-hmm.
so I was like, okay, it's kind of tough like going out doing events when I'm a stay-at-home mom. So I was like, well, let me figure out something where I can maybe ship the stuff to the people. So I started doing party
Okay.
boxes. I started
Yes.
doing party boxes. And then I finally around 2018 when my baby was like 2 years old,
Okay.
I finally like focused in and I rebranded as Daarina Design Company
Mm-hmm.
because I said I want to really get my name out there.
Mm-hmm.
And I started promoting myself as like an event floral designer. But then when COVID hit and all my events stopped
Right.
and I didn't really have any business, I had to figure something out. So
Mm-hmm.
I said, okay, how can I get my flowers in the hands, the people? So that's when I started doing these individual bouquets, right?
Okay.
So I started doing these individual bouquets, and I was like, I really want a brand that's like known for flowers,
Okay.
because I learned was that, typically if you get flowers delivered to you, or even if you have flowers on a table setting, you don't typically know who did it a lot of times.
No.
You're not
I don't
connected
think
to the
I've
design.
ever known. Yeah, I don't think I've
Yeah, it's
ever
not
known.
something you think about. You don't think
Yeah.
about, oh, who designed these flowers? What company did these flowers? You just see, oh, it's the florist. Oh, the florist is here.
Yeah.
The flowers are here. You just
Right.
think about it just from a very generic point of view. And so I was like, I want to be like the Gucci of flowers. Like, I want people to know who designed these flowers. Like, designer flowers is what I call them.
Yes.
I want it
Okay.
to be like a
Yes. No, this
designer
is
flowers.
somebody behind this. I want y'all to know.
Yes. So
Yes.
I feel like that's really where that exclusive luxury brand was born, out of that, of
Hmm.
me wanting to. And it started as like delivery. Like
Hmm.
Blourish started as like a floral delivery company. So
Okay.
because the events kind of stopped, even though I was still doing them if they came up, but they really stopped. But I was shipping flowers. So I was
Yeah.
like shipping a it was a Blourish branded box with Blourish
Hmm.
branded shipping tape. And I would send the bouquet where people could, you can put it in your own, put it out. And I'm not sure if I sent the vase with it or not, but you could basically put it in the vase and then you will
Okay.
have a bouquet that was shipped in the mail.
Yeah.
Terrible idea. But
Stop. It landed you. Look, it was the stepping stone.
it was a stepping stone to like, and that's really where Blourish was born. And then I joined a coaching program that taught me to focus in on one main thing. So I said,
Hmm.
okay, I'm going to completely stop doing. The shipping part didn't last long. I just said,
Hmm.
you know what, I'm just going to do regular local delivery because I ain't got
Hmm.
time for these people's flowers dying on this hot FedEx
No.
trip.
Yeah. That
So,
can't happen. Yes. That's not good.
so I just started doing local delivery. So I set up my whole online store where I was doing local delivery. But when I joined the coaching program, I said, you know what? I'm not going to do delivery anymore. I am
Mhm.
just going to focus on events.
Yeah.
And I just continued. I pivoted, did a pivot with Blourish.
Hmm.
And that's how we got to the point where it's like, this is the brand,
Yeah.
you know, and the brand is known for curating luxury, gorgeous floral experiences.
Yeah, yeah, and like I
Mhm.
said, if y'all don't know, check out the brand and just see kind of how Darina really curates an experience online, even if you don't even have never seen them in person. She curates an experience. I love the behind the scenes. I love
Yeah.
kind of following the journey because I think that you kind of also open up about the journey and just kind of how that looks. And so all of it is like really well put together. I know exactly what you do. I know exactly,
Mhm.
what to come to you for. And so I
I
think
love
that
that.
in business,
Mhm.
that's so important because I might not need you every day, but when I do, I remember that you are the one who does
Yes.
it. You know what I mean? So, alhamdulillah, you do a really great job at that. So, I love hearing your backstory and kind of understanding how the brand came to be. Now, can you share the biggest challenges you faced in scaling your business and how you overcame them?
So the biggest challenge that I face in scaling is like the feast and famine, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like the highs and lows that come with it, because like this is all that I do. Like I don't, this is not a side hustle.
Right.
Like
This
this
is
is
the this
this
is
is
the
it.
thing.
Yeah,
Yes.
this is the thing. So any revenue that I bring in, it supports my lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
And it can be really challenging to support your life with a business that is still growing,
Yes.
you know? So, but, well, for one, to be honest, there is no pushing through without faith, you know, without faith. And just really,
Bingo. Yes.
yes, and really leaning in to Allah's guidance,
Mm-hmm.
you know, about, okay, what is the next right move for me?
Mhm. Mhm.
You know, how do I get through this? Please send me relief, send me
Yeah.
help, because it's a struggle, when you're going through those ups and downs and you don't know where the next booking, is gonna come from, you know.
Mhm.
But what has gotten me through it is really gratitude, you
Yeah.
know, and showing gratitude for everything that I already have, everything, all the blessings that have come my way. I've gotten so many blessings, so many beautiful opportunities that were just born out of me being obedient,
Yeah.
um, and just walking through my calling, you know.
Mhm.
So that, on top of really finding like a community, right?
Mhm.
A community of like-minded, entrepreneurs, CEOs, um, that you can get advice from, get
Yeah.
feedback from. Somebody could be going through the same thing you're going through, and maybe they did this particular post or sent this email or reached out to the client in this way that helped them
Mhm.
bring in some additional revenue. Like,
Yeah.
business education is so important, and I don't think people value it enough.
I
You know,
agree.
I look at entrepreneurship as a sport, really, right? It's something that you have to train for.
Yeah.
It's something that you have to rest and recover from.
Yes. Get
So
coaching. Yeah.
yes,
Have a
yes,
coach. Yeah.
and so that you can come back stronger.
Mhm.
It's not a passive thing, you know and if you want to grow to a certain level of success, you have to have all the ingredients to make it, come together.
I totally agree. And I love that you are just kind of, I talk to a lot of Muslims who are in business,
Hmm.
and just that tawakkul and that faith that I love that you brought that, like, okay, during the challenging times, that's when you
Hmm.
lean on that. You know what I'm
You
saying?
have
That's
to.
when you lean on that, and praying throughout the process.
Yes.
Praying when you get the wins, praying when you don't get those wins,
Yeah.
and just asking Allah for guidance and aligning yourself with that divine, whatever
Yeah.
that is, aligning
because
yourself, and
because
like you
the
said, being
struggles
obedient.
are the struggles are inevitable,
They are.
and really you want the struggles, because the struggles is what brings you back to Allah.
It really does.
Allah does not want you to forget about him.
Yes.
So the struggle is what makes you turn back to Allah, and which makes the reward even greater when it
Even
comes.
sweeter. And
Even
Allah
sweeter,
says,
the reward grace when
yes.
it's like, oh my gosh, like,
Yeah.
yes, that was hard, that was difficult what I went through, but it was so
Yeah.
worth it. It
It
was so
was.
worth it
And
to have this.
I find that I learned the most during those times. I learned
Yes,
so much during those times, and just persevering through those times. I feel like I
yes.
look back and I say, man, I learned so much. And
Learn
I,
so much.
I just had so many blessings, even though I might not have been able to see it at the time. There were so many blessings throughout, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Even within that difficulty. So I absolutely love that. And I feel like here we don't separate faith and business. This is
No.
connected.
Mm-mm. They're
Those two are connected. You can't have one without the other. You got
you
to do
can't.
both. You know what I'm saying? You got to do
Yeah.
both. You can't just rely on faith only. You got to
And I
do
think
both.
it's that way for most entrepreneurs, regardless of what your religious beliefs are.
Yeah.
Like, you can't
Yeah.
separate the two.
No. And
Like,
even I like,
most successful entrepreneurs are very spiritual people.
absolutely. And even
Yes.
when you talk about sports, most successful athletes
Yes.
are very spiritual people. The first thing they do is thank God. That's the
That's
first thing
right.
they do. They
Yeah.
thank God, and they have the belief because they understand a higher power. So they have that belief as well. So we
Yes.
can talk all day about
Yeah.
faith and
Yeah.
business, but just know that's really the key right there.
Yes.
Okay, so moving on a little bit into how you market yourself. So we talked about kind of how you overcame some of those challenges and kind of how you set yourself apart. But
Hmm.
what marketing strategies or platforms have been most effective for growing Blourish's brand?
Okay. So as far as where do I want to start? So my website, when I was selling the individual arrangements, right?
Mm-hmm.
I set up my shop through Shopify.
Okay.
And when I transitioned, even though Shopify is known for um like actual products, right?
Mm-hmm.
I still kept it with my service-based business because I
Okay.
felt like my SEO was like locked in, right?
Okay. So I
And
can't
I was
let this
like,
go.
I'm not about to switch to another platform and just
Yes.
jack my SEO all the way up.
Right. And for those who don't know SEO, Google it.
Yes,
Yes.
search engine optimization.
Yes. That's a whole conversation. But go
That's a
ahead.
whole conversation because and what I come up, more frequently for is when people search, Atlanta black owned floors. I'm like,
Mhm.
at the
Number
top,
one. Yeah.
number one, right? Um, and so that's like all throughout my keywords and all of that stuff throughout my
Yeah.
website. So I still maintain my Shopify store. I've always designed my own website. I've always designed my own graphics. I have a phenomenal photographer. I have to give her a shout out.
Let's shout them
Um,
out.
Crystal Bird with Lovebird
Oh,
photography
love
and
Crystal.
Crystal on brand,
Yes. Crystal
baby.
on
Her
love,
work
love,
is
love, love.
always tea. Her work
It
is
is.
always tea. She's
Absolutely.
every brand photo shoot that I've had. She's been to one,
She's
the one
been that
shoot.
one. Yes.
And
All
when I
of
tell
them.
you those
Her
pictures
journey.
last me for so
Yes.
long.
Yes. And they're so like I feel like there's only so many things you can do in a studio photograph, right? But she
Uh-huh.
makes each person's session seem so different, so
Yes.
unique,
Yes.
so like on brand, like just how her name is, Chris on brand,
Yes.
and they come out so wonderful, professional, but yourself, authentic. They don't look like super stiff. Like just
Right.
so many good things she does for the
And
experience.
she loves when I come because I bring all these flowers to the studio.
Yes, and you're like, look, we gotta get the florals in there. They're the
But
stars. Yes.
so that, and then I know like sometimes you can get like professional photos from the events, but if I don't get them right away, I don't let that stop me. So I always create my content
Yeah.
when I have went on site for events. And my
Hmm.
photos are nice enough with my phone that I can put on and throughout my website. So like the cover photo of my website and all my marketing materials is actually a photo that I took with my cell phone, you
Wow.
know, but it was beautiful enough to be able to use. So
Mhm.
that's the website. Other platforms that I use, of course, social media.
Yeah.
So the main platform that I'm using is Instagram.
Hmm.
Uh, but we are going to start becoming more active on TikTok because
Okay.
what I'm learning about TikTok is that it's just a phenomenal search engine.
Okay.
I actually had a bride that found me and booked me from a post she saw on my TikTok, and I don't even post on TikTok like that.
Wow. So you said, imagine
Yeah.
if I start posting more.
Imagine if I start posting. So I'm about to be
Yes.
on TikTok.
On TikTok. Yes.
Um, yeah, and then also like I am a part of organizations and groups that are in alignment with my target audience.
Okay.
So that is very helpful, like to just really network and meet other people in my industry where we can
Hmm.
partner and do things together. I'm a part of a amazing, phenomenal mastermind business program with Hello Seven, Rachel Rogers. I've
Hmm.
been in her community since 2021.
Okay.
I spoke at her most recent ROI, the Millionaire Summit conference that happened
Hmm.
this summer. And
Congratulations.
thank you.
I know that was a wonderful
But the
experience.
knowledge that I have gained from being a part of that program and following her framework is really how I was able to grow my business to the six-figure mark and beyond. So
Mhm.
I would say between having a solid website platform,
Okay.
um, being a part of communities that are within your industry and network,
Mhm.
joining some type of solid business mastermind community or program where you
Mhm.
follow one school of thought, you
Right.
know, when it comes, like, I don't think you should have a whole bunch of
A
different
lot of
coaches. Like, find
understood.
one that you vibe with and
And
then
just
follow that
full
program,
force. Yeah.
you know. And then of course there's always the email marketing, like creating like a marketing system that works for you.
Mhm.
That's what I learned. And just like going all in on that. It's really more so about focus. I always say when you focus, you flourish, you
Yeah.
know. So it's really about going all the way in on whatever you want your focus to be.
I agree. Yeah, I love that. I love that you said, hey, get one thing and stick to it.
Yes.
Don't jump ship and say, oh, I'm going to try this now and try that because
Yeah.
now it's just scattered. And so you found, like you said, find one that you're vibing with and just
Yeah.
go full stream ahead and just kind of do that. And alhamdulillah, you found some success
Alhamdulillah.
in that one. So, moving a little bit, and I know you actually posted about this recently, so I think that
Mhm.
it's timely, but how do you manage team leadership? Because you are expanding, you are growing, you are adding to
Yes.
your team. Delegation. So how do you handle leadership, delegation, and collaboration as your business is growing?
So, I think when it comes to leadership and managing a team, it's all about communicating.
Mhm. That's what I
and knowing
say.
and knowing
Yes.
and knowing how to communicate. And if you don't know how to communicate, then you need to learn how to communicate.
Okay.
Like,
Look, I like the way you got real low with that. Like, lady, come on in. Let me tell you
because
something.
because your team is only gonna be as great as your leadership,
Absolutely.
you know. And when you're a clear leader, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you're clear on your vision and knowing where you want to be, then you're able to communicate and delegate accordingly. you
Mm-hmm.
know you give people a task according to their strengths and
Absolutely.
not according to their availability, to do it. You don't just give something to somebody. Hey, can you do this for me? That may not be
No.
what that person is good at doing. Now you mad because they did it wrong, but you
But you
shouldn't have gave it
knew.
to them in the first place.
Exactly. And ultimately, as the leader, that's on you,
That's
right?
on
You know
you.
what I'm saying?
It's
That's
like,
on
you know
you.
what?
Yeah.
That she wasn't the right person for the job.
Right.
You can't be mad
Not
at
for
her.
this job.
Not for this job. And
Right.
I think you have to learn that fast.
Yeah.
And it's like I'm not gonna waste no time and I'm not gonna waste no money. Like,
Mm-hmm.
trying to see if somebody gonna do something the way I want them to do it. If that's not for them to do, then either let it go or give
Mm-hmm.
them something that's in alignment with their strengths,
I agree with that.
you know.
I agree with that.
So I think that is a big part
Yeah.
of managing a successful team. Um, and just checking in on
Yeah.
a regular basis. Like,
Yeah.
I think something that I feel like we as just Black women in general struggle with is asking for help.
Yes.
And I notice how that comes up in,
Mhm.
when it comes to leadership and managing a team. And I'm like still like holding on to certain little tasks and stuff. And
You're
it's
like,
like,
no,
oh yeah. It's like, oh yeah.
let
I
that
just
go.
gotta let it go.
Yeah, delegate, and
Like,
I agree. I think that that is the thing that we don't are not used to doing, or
yeah,
not comfortable with, or even trusting in that
trusting.
way.
And the
Yeah.
only way to build trust
Okay.
is to trust.
Hey, ain't no other way around it. You just gotta do it. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. Yes. I totally understand that. And I think that in business, unless you just, and I always think about Amazon, right? Because I think about like, imagine if he was like, man, I could probably deliver to 20 houses in a day. If he thought like that, instead of saying, wait, I need people to deliver and I can do millions. You know what I'm saying? Like, I
Exactly.
always think about that. Like, imagine if he was just like, I could probably do 20 houses.
You
Yeah.
can get more done and you can get it done faster.
Absolutely. Yeah. And
With the right
and I think that we have to be comfortable. It might not be exactly how you would do it,
Yeah.
but it can still get done. It can still get
Yeah.
done well.
And my goal is to always find someone who can do it better than me.
Mm.
You know, it's like, if you could do it better than me, that's even
That's
better.
even better. You unlocked a little gate you didn't even know, because
Right.
now they have the skill to do even better, and now you can focus on something else.
Focus on something else.
I
Focus
love
on
that.
focus on my strengths.
Yes, focus on your strengths and growing more. Okay, so how can you share a story or project or event that significantly boosted your brand or reputation? Because I think that sometimes there is just that one that's just like, whoa, that was kind of like a change, and I just use that. And some people are just kind of like continuously, but I've noticed that there's usually one that just kind of like boom, kind of took
Yes. I think for me, the one that boosted it for me as well as my audience was when I did the BeyGOOD event.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna say that one.
I gotta go.
I knew you were gonna say that one.
Else? Yes.
Yes.
I've done Hulu. Yes, I've done Delta.
Yeah.
I've done Black Enterprise. Yes, I've done Wells Fargo.
I'll keep going. Let's hear it.
Yes, I've done Forbes. Yes, I've
Okay.
done Dolce Gabbana.
Let's go.
Yes, I've done Louis Vuitton. But
the BeyGOOD was that one.
when the queen calls,
You answer.
when the queen calls,
That took the cake. That took the cake. Yes.
So yeah, I just because I do vision boards, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I had her on my vision board, and it was the picture of her on the cover of Vogue with the flowers.
Yeah, flowers. And it's so funny because like I said, I've been following your journey for so long and the different iterations. I remember when you posted that. Like
really in 2018.
I promise you, I remember when you posted that. You said something like, "God, please show me the path to do florals for Beyonce." I remember that. And then seeing that, I was like, "Oh man, that's something powerful."
Wow.
Yeah.
A lot. And it was just like when I got because I would get the inquiries would come through my website to my email. And I'm like, we're just going on a family outing to the movies,
Mm-hmm.
And I got the inquiry and I opened up my email. And when I saw that company's name, it said BeyGOOD.
Yeah.
I said, oh my God.
Yeah, this is something worthy.
Like they reached out to me.
Right.
They reached, because people were like, how'd you get that? How'd you get that? I'm like,
they came to me, mashallah. Yeah, that's something.
I stepped out of that movie theater once I got there. I had the client call that night.
Yes.
I got their proposal prepared. I sent it to them, and then I waited. Yes. And I was like, God, please let this be for me.
Yes.
Right? Let this be.
Please.
And when the guy finally called me back, and he was trying to he was messing with me. He was like, yeah, okay. I'm sorry. Like
he was pulling at your heartstring. That didn't come through.
And then he was like, nah, I'm just joking. Send the invoice.
Right. He said right away.
Oh my God.
Oh wow. Yeah.
And then a lot of stuff transpired after that.
Yes.
That was just also amazing.
Alhamdulillah.
And that was
the one. You said that one took the cake. And I think that the fact that you had talked about it, put it on your vision board, all of that, and then to see it transpire is just a beautiful thing. And I think that that's like the thing that we wait for in business. It's like
Yeah.
opportunities like that, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Just to kind of show you like you're on the right path, keep going, just to
Yes.
give you that boost, to kind of, that boost can last you for years, you know what I mean?
Right.
Just that
Right.
mental boost, everything, you
And
know?
just to show you that the work, these are the type of clients you're attracting, right?
Yeah.
With by putting out excellence, you're gonna
Mm-hmm.
attract excellence, you know.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yes, I love that. Alhamdulillah. I've so enjoyed this conversation. And so
Yeah.
we are nearing the end
Oh.
of talking to you about Flourish. But I do want to know, looking ahead, what's your vision for Flourish? Expansion, collaborations, new services? Kind of give me like, how do you see in the next few years?
So for me, I want Blourish to be the go-to, like the at top of mind awareness, the first
Mm-hmm.
one that comes
Mm-hmm.
to mind when it comes to curating an event floral experience. You
Okay.
know, whether that experience is in Atlanta, whether it's in Las Vegas, whether
Okay.
it's in Paris, or
Yes.
whether it's in Dubai. Like
Mm-hmm.
you the client is open to bringing me wherever because they want us to curate the experience. It's not
I
just
mean,
about the flowers,
mm-hmm.
it's bigger than the flowers,
Mm-hmm.
it's about the energy that we bring to the table, you know,
Absolutely.
and the intention and the beauty, you know, and the excellence,
Yeah.
in executing.
Mm-hmm.
Luxury is more about the experience than it is about the number on the invoice,
Right.
it's
Absolutely.
really about you can give me $2,500 and I can create a luxury experience for
Mm-hmm.
your florals,
Right.
or you can give me $25,000 and I can create it.
Absolutely.
So yeah, that's where I see. I honestly, but I used to say, nah, I don't really want to travel. I'm like, nah, I want to
No,
be
I do. He said, "Fly me out."
I want to be worldwide.
Yes, get this Flourish experience wherever you
Get this
are.
flourish
Yes,
experience.
I love that. And I
It's
mean, I tell
I mean,
everybody we pray over here. I make dua for
yes,
everybody,
I
and
mean,
I'm gonna continue to do that. And inshallah, however I can help in that process, let me know, inshallah. And I can't wait to continue to see how Flourish just continues to flourish, inshallah. So the last
inshallah.
thing, inshallah, last thing we're gonna do is 5 quick fire questions, really simple. I'm going to go through the question and we're going to see your answers. What is
Okay.
your favorite flower to design with and why?
I love designing with hydrangeas because
Okay.
they are very full and they give the
Mhm.
arrangements that instantly like lush,
They
classy
do.
look.
I love hydrangeas. I love that. Yes. What is one ayah, quote, or saying that motivates you daily?
Ooh, surely when you are grateful, Allah will increase you.
I literally have
Yes.
that on my board and I make my kids say that
Yes, I
every
love it.
day.
It's my
Sugar.
favorite.
Be grateful. Yes. Alhamdulillah. Yes, ma'am. I love that. Are you in early mornings or late nights for creative work? Which one is getting your creative juices going more? Mornings or nights?
Oh, I would say early mornings because by the time I can stay up late, but
Yes.
I
You're
ain't
not trying
doing
to do
nothing
that.
productive.
Exactly. Not creative. That's the morning
Yes,
creative.
early morning for sure.
Same. Yes. What is one tool or ritual you use before big events or installations?
Ooh, one tool or ritual?
Yes, if any.
I don't know if I have any.
You
Maybe I
have
need to come up
nothing.
with
Not
something.
not your
Other than do I?
dua. All you need. That's all you need.
That's it.
Alhamdulillah.
Allah, please let this go
Allah.
well.
Yes, alhamdulillah. Do. Okay. And what is a dream collaboration? I know we just talked about one, but what is a dream collaboration or event you'd love to design for?
Oh, goodness. Well, I'll tell you something that's more immediate, right?
Okay.
Um, there's a there's a big event coming up in Las Vegas with Black
Mhm.
Enterprise. It's their Women in Power Summit. It's at the Bellagio Hotel in Las Vegas. And I'm like,
Okay. I gotta
right
be there.
now, that is
Yeah.
going to be a dream to do
A
that.
dream.
Yes.
Inshallah.
I would
Yes.
say a venue, like a dream venue that
Yeah.
I still want to design it would be the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Like
Oh,
I
yes.
want to design like a huge event on their stadium floor covered with
Yes.
florals.
I
That would
mean,
be, I
I
mean,
mean, that's gonna happen, inshallah. And I can't wait to
yes,
attend said event,
yes.
whatever event that is. Yes, I love it. Well, I feel like I need a part two. I feel like I only scratched the surface of the
Oh,
things that I would love to discuss with you, but I appreciate all of the gems and the nuggets that you gave to me and to the Muslimas who watch this podcast. And like I said, do as always, and
thank
inshallah,
you.
wishing the best for you. And until next time, inshallah.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. Assalamu
Like
alaikum.
that's fine.